Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We welcome you all to the webinar today. And some participants are joining. First of all, I must thank all of you for sending your nominations for the Globe Working Group and also responding to the several requests which we sent to you. Before we start, I have a video which I have received from a student from Philippines, which is around 3.5 minutes. And I will request Hina to play with the video. The student is here? Or he would like
no,
to...
the student is not here, but Joanne just joined the meeting.
Okay, Joanne, okay. Joanne, can we play that video? Joanne?
I cannot play the video. Can you?
Okay, we will play the video. Okay. Hina, can you play the video? This is a wonderful video which is being done by a student in Philippines, and he has requested that he would like to have collaboration and joint research activities with other countries.
Prepare the number of the staff. धन्यवाद.
Maligayang araw sa ating lahat. I'm Andrew Joshua Alayan, and today I will be presenting my research topic proposal entitled Investigating the Response of Greenhouse Gases and Urban Heat to the Global Quarantine. Have you ever imagined a world so clean with no pollution, or to be more on topic, no air pollution? Air pollution occurs when certain gases or particles build up in the atmosphere to such levels that it can cause harm to our health or even bring harm to the environment around us. Going back to air pollution and the awful misfortune of the pandemic aside, the way that it has kept us inside more frequently than in a normal year has really been advantageous to our planet in various manners. Currently, for example, in the United States, air quality has been seen with tremendous enhancements. So which gases should we take into account? First is carbon dioxide or CO2, next is methane or CH4, and last but not least is nitrogen oxide or NO2. With this research, I aim to answer these following questions. What was the response of the levels of greenhouse gases and urban heat temperatures to the unexpected quarantine? What are the average levels and highest levels of greenhouse gases and urban heat parameters in the 3 locations after the community quarantine? And how much was the difference between data from countries with more emissions from the countries with less emissions? So why am I studying this field? Well, amongst countless other reasons, my main goal is to give awareness about how air quality can affect our daily lives. I also aim to give awareness about how much we are contributing to the climate change happening right now. Moving on, this study also has a few scopes and limitations. Here are the following. This study will not focus on other chemical pollutant measurements other than carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxides. This study is limited to only outdoor measurements of chemical pollutants and urban heat parameters. This research will also involve the collaboration of other GLOBE students, making this research a bit more of a campaign to raise awareness about air pollution. For the methods, first is settling upon the location of testing. These locations are possibly India, America, or Germany. I plan to collaborate with other collaborators from around the world to get these data, which are specifically GLOBE students. These locations were also chosen as they are part of the top contributors of greenhouse gases, and they are also a part of the GLOBE initiative. In preparing the materials, instruments such as greenhouse gas meters and air and surface temperatures will be used in this study. Of course, calibration is a must and is considered during testing. Meters will be exposed for 2 hours every day in a week. The first hour is in the morning and the second hour is in the afternoon. More information about that on my research setup on my paper. After the data is collected, it will also go through statistical analysis. This will tell if the levels went up or down or if they remained constant during the hours of testing. Statistical treatment will be used such as mean for the average scores, mode for the most frequent type of data, linear regression for correlating data, and t-test for differentiating data. Hello, yes, it's me, Andrea, again, and yes, I am offering a collaboration for researchers all around the world to help me complete this research. If you are interested, make sure to contact me here on my email. That's greytofu at gmail.com. I will be sending you details about how you can help me in this research and how you can help give awareness about the air quality all around the globe and all around the places that we will be collecting from. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Thank you very much for the presentation. And Joanne, you want to make any comment?
Yes, thank you. So, Andre is a grade 10 student from Batasan Hills National High School, and he would like to do this research for his final year in junior high school. And he is very much interested in asking students from your countries, from different countries actually, to collect those data that he needed. So I hope there are students there and teachers who are interested in collecting data and doing the project with him.
Any question? Any question? Or anyone who is interested in collaborating with him? Ina, can you start my presentation?
Yeah, sure.
Because I forgot to download.
I guess
Okay.
Bill has question
Yeah.
in the chat box.
Yeah,
There are.
Bill has a question. That's, can we get information on meter being used for research papers? So if Joanne and Andre can address that.
Yeah, we will be sending you the list of the data and how to get those parameters. Will that be okay? We will sending you the paper for this research.
Yeah, that would be great, John, because I'm just thinking if we have a similar meter here, then it might be possible for schools here to be involved or supply data.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
We will do that.
Please go ahead. Go ahead, please. Join. Please go ahead.
I guess my signal is not so good, but yes, we will be sending the paper to Bill and to all countries who are interested. So I hope others will also join, please. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Joanne, for a wonderful video. This is very innovative. And I must congratulate the students who have done this. And I think this will encourage our young friends from other part of the region to take up similar research, and hopefully they will be contacting him and develop some joint activities. Unfortunately, these days we don't have face-to-face activities due to COVID-19, but when the situation will be favorable and we will have free movement from one country to another country, such collaboration will help them to meet and develop joint research activities. And also, please encourage your students also, those of the country coordinators who are here, to take up such activities and start up some collaborative activities in our region. So I'm going to go through some of the slides. I forgot to download in my computer, but I don't know how to do it. And I'm requesting Hina to please help me to change the slides. Today, we are going to discuss about global air quality monitoring webinar, which is how we can collaborate on some of the air quality activities. Okay, next. Hina. Hina, can you hear me? Yes, okay. How is the agenda for this presentation is what is the objective of the campaign? Air pollution, why air pollution is very important? Because if I look up in Delhi today, the sky is so filled up with smoke and dust and very many difficult situations that we have index around more than 600, which is very harmful. It is harmful for breathing also. So this is the situation what we have today, this morning in Delhi. All the newspapers are filled up with the news that air pollution is a very serious issue and air quality index is more than 600, which is very harmful. So that is the situation in many of our countries. And then air pollution is one of the very important issue which really we need to address. And also we want to see that what has been done so far, why we should have a campaign, and also create a globe air quality module. What we are planning in our AP region is that online e-training on air quality bundle protocol, runs research and poster competition, and also the most important is regional collaboration. Always we try to develop regional collaboration, exchange program, activities, expeditions, and things like that, which is very important, and we are very rich in such activities in our region. Next. Hina, can you hear me? Okay. How it started actually. Air pollution is the most pressing environmental health crisis in the world. It is responsible for more than 6.5 million deaths annually, which is quite a lot. The bulk of which 70% occurs in Asia Pacific region. So if you look up that Asia Pacific region is very seriously affected from the air pollution. The idea for Globe Air Quality Campaign came during the Asia Pacific virtual regional meeting, which we had in the month of May this year. And we decided to have campaign on 4 issues, which was mosquito, water bodies, air quality, and also the trees. And the air quality issue came during this regional meeting. Country coordinators suggest that apart from hydrology, mosquito and soil campaign, we should also focus on the air quality campaign, which is very important. And I can say even in Delhi today, we are suffering a lot. Seeing the need in the community for this campaign, the Globe Asia Pacific Regional Coordination Office initiated the air quality campaign in the region. And I think next, we are going to have more activities, more campaigns in the webinars in the future. The Globe Air Quality Campaign is a citizen science project to assess traffic-related air pollution at schools. We found that quite a lot of pollution in our region is due to the traffic issues. The campaign measures the protocol related to the Globe Air Quality Bundle. I'm going to touch upon some of this, what is the air quality bundle is. Like this is an educational project designed to raise awareness about the air pollution and showcase the potential of citizen science to gather unique data sets and insights into our environment. So what we are looking is like educational activity, awareness of the citizens and the community. The campaign also provides a collaborative platform for schools to share their research and insights. Very important that campaign also connect school to school, community to community, and countries to country. We want this investigation to be empowering. We will invite you to share your findings and solutions by creating either research poster, a student's blog post, or a creative poster showing your results and interpretation of your local air quality data. So these are some of the activities which we are suggesting. This can be shared with the Globe team at the end of the campaign period. I hope you remember that we have sent you the request to send the posters on these campaigns, and the last date is December 15. We have received some posters, but we want all the countries, many posters, so that we have quite a lot of information from our regions and from our country. Please also feel free to share your school's photos and campaign stories with @Globe Asia Pacific on Facebook or Instagram. Next. Like objective of the campaign, air pollution awareness, so that we want to community, the people to aware about the awareness on air pollution. Citizen science. You see, it is very interesting that in India, we have 23,000 citizen scientists. And Asia Pacific region is the most what we call as having citizen scientists than any other regions. And after that, what is the behavioral change? We are all aware that air pollution is a serious problem. We all know that there are environmental issues, but our behavior is the same. I'm not going to change how I'm going to change myself. That is very important. I don't want to, I say don't pollute, but I am polluting myself. I say don't throw garbage on the road, but I still throw myself on the road. So the problem is that we are aware of the problem. We are aware that how serious the issue is, but our behavior is not changed. Our habits are not changed. We continue doing the same thing which we tell others not to do. I say no crackers, but I have crackers. I say my car should be pollution free, but I found my car is emitting more smoke. So that is what is the objective of the campaign, is that how citizens can change their behavior so that our air, our environment can be protected. Next. Who is affected by air pollution? Air pollution has a big impact on our health and the environment around us. Very serious issue. As I mentioned, even in Delhi today, we are feeling very suffocated. According to the European Environmental Agency, air pollution is a major cause of premature death and disease, and is the single largest environmental health risk in Europe. Not only in Asia Pacific region, this is serious in Europe also. Heart disease and stroke are the most common reasons for premature death, attributable to air pollution, followed by lung disease and lung cancer. Because when the dust gets settled into the lung, that cannot be removed. And that really creates a lot of lung diseases, even lung cancer. And the breathing is one of the serious problems. People cannot breathe. And this has become a very serious issue not only in Asia Pacific region, but in other regions also. Next. Okay, air pollution impact on human health. Health crisis across Asia and the Pacific region. Less than 8% of the regions people are exposed to levels of air pollution. that do not pose a significant risk to their health according to the World Health Organization. Guidelines, there is now sufficient evidence from epidemiological studies in Asia and Pacific that exposure of PM 2.5 and ground level ozone are the most health damaging and account for large attributable health burdens. You know, this ozone present at the ground level is a serious environmental issue. But if there is no ozone layer in the upper atmosphere layer, that is also a serious issue. So the ozone level on the ground, PM 2.5, is really serious issues, and they have become quite serious issues in the recent. And studies have shown these are creating more human health problems than anything else. Next. Air pollution impact on human health. Some population groups are more affected by air pollution than others because they are more exposed to vulnerable to environmental hazards. What we call the poor communities, the poor people, people living in the slums, people, those who cannot really afford expensive, this medical treatment and so and so. They are the one very seriously affected. Like global socio-economic groups tend to be more exposed to air pollution. Older people, due to their body stamina they have, the children, the kids, those with pre-existing health conditions are most vulnerable. Those who are having problems like diabetic, those who are diabetic, those who are having heart problems, those who are having breathing problems, all these people, they are more affected due to the air pollution. And we try to see that the people, those who are poor people, in the poor countries, they are the mostly affected due to this air pollution problems. Next. Why we should do air quality awareness campaign? Now we learned that what are the issues, and issues are serious. It concerns to all of us. 6.5 million people die annually from exposure to the poor air quality. 6.5 million. I don't know how many people died this time from Corona, COVID-19. And it's a serious issue. Like around the same number of people, they die due to the air quality, poor air quality, due to the air pollution problems. 70% of air pollution related deaths occur in Asia Pacific. As I mentioned before also, Asia Pacific is the most affected region which is suffering due to the air pollution problems. Because our communities are poor, cannot afford very expensive treatment due to the air pollution diseases. 92% of the Asia and the Pacific population, about 4 billion people, are exposed to level of air pollution that pose a significant risk to their health. I know what happens in India. I remember Yoginder told us once that the whole of the Kathmandu Valley get filled of smoke during the winter season. Becomes very serious issue. Maybe many other countries, they have the same problem. So we are the most affected, vulnerable community in Asia Pacific region who are suffering due to the air quality. And that is very important for us that we should have also have air quality awareness campaign. Next. Why we should do air quality awareness campaign? Air pollution is the most pressing environmental health crisis in the world. It is responsible for more than 6.5 annually, and the 70% of which is in Asia Pacific region. In addition to health hazards, air pollution is a threat to the region's economy, food and water security, and the climate system. The hampers the region's efforts to grow sustainability and alleviate poverty. Because when the productivity is low, that will be resulting that sustainability will be reduced and the poverty will be more because the production is less. And people's poor health will affect on the productivity of the human being and then the effect on the economy of the country. Air pollution in the Asia Pacific region is not only a major health risk, it also has damaging impacts on environmental and agricultural crop yields. You see that productivity of the land will be reduced. The sunlight which is falling on the ground will be reduced. These impacts have significant economic consequences affecting economic growth as well as welfare. Now, there was I remember there was an exercise in globe, count the stars in the night. If you can see how clear the sky is, if you count more stars and you see the stars are bright, it means the pollution is less. If the pollution is more, you can't see the clear stars and you cannot count all the stars. Even a small exercise like counting of stars can give us some idea how the aerosols, how much is the different pollutant in the atmosphere, which can really give us some idea on the air pollution. Some of the highest recorded levels of air pollutions are in Asia Pacific countries. There is a table. 2.3 billion people in the region are exposed to the levels of air pollution several times the WHO guidelines for safe air. Like today in Delhi, as I mentioned, air quality index is more than 600. And it should be something like 70 or 80 for we have 5, 6, 7, 8 times more air pollution in Delhi today. I don't know what is the situation in other cities today, but today is a horrible day for us in Delhi from the air pollution point of view. Next. Participants in the campaigns are working to, we can do that, connect cities, provide a platform for cities to share best practices and demonstrate progress in their journey to meeting WHO air quality targets. Each country we have air quality targets and WHO also has an air quality index. We should try to change our habit as I mentioned the behavioral change. How we can reduce air quality? No crackers, my car, do not pollute. I give you a little example here. Once I went with one of my friends. I was in Bonn. When I went with him, he said, "Oh, I need to go to a bank." I say, "Oh, we have money in the pocket. Why don't we worry? We will go in the afternoon." Then he told me that the bank in which I have my bank account, that bank give a loan to a factory or industry, which to my mind is a polluting industry. I don't want my money in a bank which used to give my money to a industry which is polluting. I would like to keep my money in a bank which is a green bank. And he went to the bank, I went with him. He would draw all the money from the bank and put another bank, open another account, which he feels that is a green bank. That was very practical. But how many of us we do? How many of us we say, okay, I will not sit in a scooter or a taxi. which is polluting. I will not purchase something from a shop, which is really polluting the environment. So that is how we have to change. I will give you two more examples later. Increase monitoring data collection, which is very important. Work with the municipalities to expand monitoring efforts that can keep citizens informed and facilitate more sustainable urban development. Urban development is costing us a lot because we are doing urban development which is unplanned. We have slums, we have squatters, we have all unplanned development in the urban areas, which really create a lot of environmental issues and effect on the air quality. Accelerate solution, we have to build demand for new solutions that are working and support municipalities in effectively implementing them in their own cities. If the municipalities start working, they do their own job, then we can have some improvement. Build public awareness, that is very important. Increase support for city and national action to reduce air pollution and short-lived climate pollutants to meet health and development priorities and the sustainable development goals. At the moment, the world is busy with the COP26. COP26 is on climate change. And climate change, air pollution, aerosols, and many of these pollutants which we are emitting in the atmosphere are responsible for the warming of the globe. So how many of us really putting our efforts there? In Stockholm 1972, when Stockholm conference was there, I remember there was a news item in the newspaper, paper pollution at the global meet. At the 1970s, so much paper was produced, so used, so much reports were used, and somebody estimated how many trees must have cut. Thousands and thousands trees must have cut just to put up the agenda, just to use the paper in the conference. So we have to change the behavioral change. We have to empower individuals, educate people about the burden air pollution poses to our health and our climate, and provide meaningful ways to take action, both locally and global. Next. Here I give you one example. There is one city, Shimla in India, which is in the Himalayas. One of the school decided, there is a, like in the most of the hills, there is what is known as the Mall Road, the major road, where all the shops are located. And one of the school children, they decided they are not going to buy any stuff from a shop which is using polythene. And they started boycotting the shops which were using polythene. And we found that all shops on the Mall Road, because their most major clients are the school children, they stopped all the polythene bags and started paper bags, and that became a practice that with the little action by the students in the schools, the use of the polythene was stopped and paper bags were introduced. The Globe Asia Pacific Regional Coordination Office organizes an introduction of webinar air quality campaign that was on 7th of June. And Dr. R.K. Garg, who is a master trainer also for the Globe, he made a presentation which was wonderful. APRCO shared the objective, timeline, and expect outcome of the campaign. We want this campaign to be a serious activity. And most of the countries, we can do that, encourage students to prepare posters, take pictures, and please send the pictures if you find some activities where you see creating environmental problems, please send us so that we can put on the website. Develop Globe Star so that we can share our activities with the other regions also. Now we had two Globe Star this time on our website. One is from a school in Andhra, in India, where they have started a project, One Tree, One Student, and that has been received wonderfully. And also one star from Globe Star from Thailand. I have requested many, I will want to take the name now, but I have requested many countries coordinator and the active deputy country coordinators, please do send Globe Stars. Please send us a Globe story so that we can share with others. Next. What Asia Pacific region is planning under this campaign? Next. Data collection. Now this month we want data to be collected. Next month we do the data analysis and we prepare the research posters in January. In January we have our virtual regional meeting, which is being hosted by Globe Thailand IPST. And we want these posters to be shown there, like, which will be virtual, but we will keep them safe so that when we have man-to-man, face-to-face activity, then we can show them. Please encourage your students to collect data so that the data can be analyzed and we prepare research posters. This is our timeline of our awareness activity. Next. This is Global Air Quality Modules. Promote an outdoor classroom environment. But we don't encourage now classroom outside until we have a COVID. Please be safe. Security and the health of the students is very important. Introduce earth and environmental science topics and globe protocols. Explore the scientific processes. Raise awareness around air pollution and climate change, which is very, very important. Awareness, as we mentioned, and also collaborative activities we can develop, and also how we can really change our behavior, planting more trees. Like in Bicol region in Philippines, they have a project. They are planting 1 million trees in 5 years, which is a wonderful project. And I think such projects should be highlighted through a Globe Star. I hope our friend from Thailand, from Philippines will agree and send a Globe Star very soon. Next. This is the air quality protocol bundle where we learn like precipitation, cloud, land cover. Who is doing this? Can you stop? Barometer pressure, these are some of the activities which we do, what we call the air quality bundle. Measuring wind direction, air temperature, visibility of the sky color, as I said, counting of the stars and how the sky looks like, aerosol, relative humidity, air quality bundle practice protocol. We may not be able to do all of them. They are different activities which are shown. Okay, we can see that cloud study we can do, precipitation we can do, relative humidity, air temperature, ground temperature. So many of these activities we can start with. Next. Next. This is a Globe online research resources. This is the Globe website on which there are quite a lot of research material is there. We can download some of these. Next. NASA Globe Observer app. Who is drawing these lines? Please stop it. Globe mobile application. I'm very sure that by this time, all of you know about this NASA Globe Observer app. You don't need very sophisticated instruments. If you have a mobile phone, which almost every one of us we have, and we can do many of these activities with a Globe Observer. And if you need to have how to make use of this Globe Observer, we can have one webinar on that and also show you how to do it. If you want this to be arranged, put up in the chat box. We can ask join and Nishi Hina to give a joint webinar on this, how to make use of these Glow mobile apps, which is very useful, very helpful, and you can do it. You don't need much of the resources also. What you need is only your mobile, which you have. Next. Okay, how to observe? Report on the overall percentage of cloud cover, which is required in sky color and visibility, if applicable. As I suggested, I'm going to put up one webinar on how to use Globe Observer app, so that this will be very helpful for the students and the teacher and our community. Report the type of clouds and contrails seen at low, medium, and high elevations in the sky. Because in tropics, we see very few, not much of the contrails, but we see the clouds. And the percentage cloud cover and cloud at each level optimum. Like we have done this cloud observation, precipitation, atmosphere protocol, and then if you want, we can run e-training on this atmosphere if you want to make a sort of revision of that activity. Report on surface conditions such as snow, ice, standing water, leaves on trees, extra they are required. Take photographs of each cardinal direction, north, south, east, west, and up and down. What I suggest to all of you, please take the photographs of the environmental issues, what we call as the globe in action. You keep on sending us these photographs, which we will be put on the website and also sent to GIU. They can select these photographs for the annual review. Please ask your students to send photographs on Globe in action. And the best photographs we are going to award. We are going to give the certificate for the best photographs. And I'm very sure the students will be very interested. Teachers will be very interested to have a certificate. And they will love to contribute photographs, the posters. And next. Like taking clouds observation via observer app is, choose a safe place to make an observation. You will be looking at the sky and your device. So be careful of uneven ground and traffic, so that we have to be taken there where there is a, like clear ground and then not much of the, the traffic. Try to pick an area with few obstructions. One way to check for obstructions is to hold your hand out level and top of your head if all obstructions fall below your hand. You have picked a good observing site, like here. You can see that. It is very important where to make observation. Next. That is good in the picture. Taking clouds observation via observer app. I'm not going to go into the detail, as I am planning to have a webinar on this. Cloud observation can be taken anytime. cloud tool is designed to be flexible and fit into your tool, allowing you to classify, observe, and report when it works for you. You can take any time. It won't take more than 15 minutes. And then this you can, as I mentioned, that more than 23,000 scientists, what we call citizen scientists using these apps, they are contributing data in India. And I don't have a figure here for the Asia Pacific, but I think that is quite a large number of citizen scientists in Asia Pacific region who are working. Next. Taking clouds observation, whether it is a hazy, the dust, smoke, volcanic ash. So they are the different, situations there. Next. Taking land cover observation. So these are some of the activities which can be done, and we can use Observer app. Next. Taking land cover observation again, we can see that how the phenology information on phenology or the study of the seasonal cycle that we can do. Next. Taking land cover observation. Observations when there is big changes in the environment can be quite useful. Perhaps a building is going up in what used to be an empty field, like fire, forest fire, or flood. So that can be, these observations can be taken up by this Observer app. Next. Taking land cover observations by Observer app. Next. So this is the Globe website, the details, how we can get the information on the next. Students research and poster competition. Very, very important. Introduce your students to the scientific methods. We should use the scientific methods. Science is something you can do, and doing science makes you a scientist. We talk a lot of science. In most of the government officials, the scientists, what they do the science administration. They don't do science. But doing science is fun. We can talk of science, we talk a lot of science, but we do very little science. But the Globe says, not only talk of science, but do science. What is the first step when conducting a scientific investigation? The scientific process begins with observations. We see that, we learn. If we don't see, if we don't analyze, then that is not the science. The very first step of scientific process is with the observations. We observe. Like we collect information, we collect data. We see the sky is hazy, we see there is a pollution. We see the water is dirty. We see the people are cutting trees. There is a forest fire. Smoke is going into the atmosphere. That is what the science is. We observe. Next. Some question students could investigate. What efforts do wildfire have on air quality when there is a fire? Like investigate recent wildfire events in the Western US states or Australia and examine the impact of these fires on community health. Big fires, like in the Himalayan region, people during the dry season, they burn the forest, the ground cover. So that when they burn the ground cover, there will be rains and there will be more grass coming up, the fodder for the cattle, without understanding that what this smoke is doing, what they are losing. They are losing biodiversity. They are losing not only the plant diversity, but even the animal biodiversity. What efforts do long-term exposure around say 10 years, of low to moderate air quality have on health. How do we communicate the risk associated with air pollution to communicate? How can I inform my school community? That is a question for the teacher. How I can educate my students, my neighborhood, my community, school community, through them to the wider community about the ill effects of air pollution. How does agricultural practices influence air pollution? Agriculture is be affected really a lot. And should people and communities in rural settings care about the pollution, air pollution? Some will say, oh, villages are very clean and safe, and then cities are polluted. But how air pollution is affecting the growth of the plants and the outcome of the cereals and so on. So the productivity, how it is reduced. We have to really look into. These are some of the questions which we can discuss with the student, the teacher can do and can develop some of the activities. Next. Regional poster competition, as I mentioned, we have already sent you this to all of you. This is just to remind that poster competition on environment awareness and the guidelines are there. And the last date is December 15. And those of who are the winners will be awarded certificates of merit. And also when we have face-to-face activities, we will invite them under exchange program. Our exchange program, you know how it happens. That is a contributory activity, which is very successful. Other regions also want to follow. How we have been able to do so many exchange activities and the expeditions and students activities, students competitions, the science festivals. I remember in Taiwan, there was a great Asia Pacific Science Festival attended with so many countries. And also in Thailand, in Philippines, in India, many countries. Next. How is the regional collaboration, which is very important. Increase school participation and collaboration among schools. We see the video from the Philippines. The guy also invited us to have students to take up the collaborative project. You see the picture, can you remember? Can you identify which country this picture is? This picture is from Vietnam. We visited a school in Vietnam, in Hanoi. I think, yeah, in Hanoi. And the student who is sitting in the middle made he gave a lecture, and which was wonderful, very strong. And he pointed out the mistake which I made. My mistake in the globe cloud chart, thanks to him. And then I corrected it when I came back. So very, I found that the students are very active, very strong. They have a lot of interest. They have a lot of energy. They want to collaborate. They are looking for opportunities. And the globe provide opportunity for this. And I invited all the students to really take active interest. Take a geographic snap for water conditions. Take pictures. Send us pictures, stories. If you have any question, please send us the question. Ask as difficult question as you can ask. If I cannot answer, then I will send to some scientist. And the scientist will get you back. So send as much as information you can send. Don't hesitate. Even the small information helps a lot. Next. I thanks everyone for a patient hearing, and I hope this may be of interest. Okay. Any questions? Can I have a full screen?